Hello and welcome to another episode of Mr. Z and
Fifth.
Yes sir. Today we'll be talking about
Houston.
Hurricane Harvey, and also we're gonna just do a little reflection on the Labor Day Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn, New York City.
Yeah. So explain what the festival and the parade is for people who are not from New York. And explain the time of the year it always is around.
Well, after August, which is September 4th, it always falls on September 4th on a Monday. And they have the West Indian Day Parade in Eastern Parkway. It always goes on the holiday of Labor Day. It's representing all the Caribbean countries from Jamaica, St. Lucia, Trinidad, Guyana, Bahamas, all the Caribbean, Haiti, all the Caribbean countries, Dominica, St. Vincent's and the Grenadines, St. Martin's, all of the Caribbean country, Barbados, all of the Caribbean countries, Grenada, all of them. They're representing that all the people that's background is from the Caribbean or is from the Caribbean. Go and wave their flags and wave their rags and jump up to the festivities of the carnival.
And they also include, even though it's connected to South America, which would be where your family's from.
Yeah, Guyana. Yes. Yeah, they always include them. Believe it or not, there's some Panamanians there too. From Panama,
Central America,
Latin America.
So is there a representation of people from Honduras there too? Possibly?
Yes, there is. Okay. I see Honduras flags there too. Okay. So yes, Panamanian flags, Honduras flags.
Venezuela, maybe? No?
No, not much. No, I don't see Venezuelan. No. Okay. I see Dominica.
You don't see Brazil, right?
I don't see Brazil.
That would be more South American territory.
Yeah. So, and then...
but so is Guyana, though.
So is Guyana, but yeah...
But for some reason...
Guyana is associated with the rest of the Caribbean islands.
Is it because Guyana is not too far away from Trinidad?
It's only 55 minutes away with the airplane from Trinidad. So, it's in the diaspora of the Caribbean, meaning that it's although it's a country in South America and it's next to Venezuela, it's also associated with the Caribbean because of the language barrier, because Guyana is the only English speaking country in South America. So it's associated with Jamaica, associated with Trinidad, very close to Trinidad and Jamaica and Barbados. Is in common alignment with them, you know.
Could it also be historically the same?
Yes,
Indian indigenous, the same indigenous tribes that are in Trinidad were also in Guyana historically. So could that have something to do with that too?
It has a lot to do with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Has a lot to do with that. They share the same. It shares the same similarities of all the other Caribbean countries. You know, very very similar. It's very, 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 very close as far as like aluminum trade, as far as representation. It's very close. It's very close. Same dishes too. You'll find the same kind of meals, almost similar meals and same dishes. Not everything, but some things, some foods. It's very similar to Trinidad. So the West Indian Day Parade, man. I mean, it was different this year because for the first time, they had because you know that people there's a thing called the big truck. Like all West Indians know, the big truck where the artists, people go there to see the musical artists. They don't want to go see the beautiful costumes and the beautiful Caribbean costumes, festivities and costumes and a big Sally man on the sticks. You know the big tall men that walk on the sticks. To see those, and they also have the big trucks that come with the music, the big huge trucks that have the DJs on the radio. Like you got WBLS, and sometimes they have Hot 97, sometimes they have the different Caribbean radio stations, and they have the artists that's on the Caribbean West Indian artists, reggae artists, the soca artists that's on the trucks and waving and just singing, and people waving their flags to the music. And also not only that too, but for the first time this year, they have metal detectors all over Eastern Parkway due to the violence that happened in the past. And it's just sometimes it's for the first, I've never seen metal detectors in Liberation Parkway, but they were there yesterday. They were there in September 4th, Monday, September 4th, which was for the first time. They finally what they're trying to do is what the police is trying to do is they're trying to ease the violence and ease the hostility. And sometimes violence peaks and it leaks and it happens anyway. But I always tell people to go in peace. To go in peace and harmony, because as black people, we have this is our time to celebrate, even if it's just Caribbean. But they also do have the African American Day Parade, which people don't know about. That's not really advertised so much in Harlem.
Well, it's called, I know what you're talking about.
But the West Indian Day Parade, it's always something that erupting, and you tell people to go in peace, and they're trying to seize the violence. They're trying to make it fair and they're trying to seize the violence. But what they did with the Juve is a celebration that was taken from Trinidad, just like Carnival was taken from Trinidad. The tradition of you celebrating from the night before the Carnival. There's a celebration at night before the Carnival, meaning that people celebrate on the streets. They pump in the music, Caribbean music on the streets. And what they did with Juve is they made it 6 a.m. instead of the night before. They just cut it down because due to the violence. They had a brother that was shot, I think last year. I forgot his name. He was shot last year in the head. He was walking with his brother, and he was in Brooklyn celebrating Juve, and he was killed. Oh man, yeah, by a straight bullet. So I always tell people to seize the violence, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to take it away from us. They're trying to take Labor Day Parkway away. They're trying to, and if they can, I heard her talk about them putting it in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, so people could just pay for it to see it. We don't want that to happen, because Barclays, they're gonna put the price up, $30 and $40 just to see Carnival. So but of course, a few bad apples is gonna try to ruin that. Yeah.
Okay. Let's now talk about it this way.
Yeah, man.
So New York's okay. So for those who don't know, our mayor years ago, by the name of Michael Bloomberg, he threatened to shut down the Caribbean Day Festival that whole weekend. He threatened to shut that down in Brooklyn. I want to talk about the part of Brooklyn it's in. I mean, a lot of these other parades are in Manhattan, but this one is in Brooklyn. Interesting. So, there's a lot of misconceptions about this parade. There's some good and some bad. The good is that the culture gets celebrated. The thing is that they lump everybody together from the islands, and there are things culturally that might be similar but different at the same time. So each Caribbean island might not feel that they're getting equal representation if you got so many islands that are, being all celebrated that day. There's nothing wrong with that as far as celebrating all of that day, but you lump everything together, so then now you have to be fair to everybody on how to do it. I mean, when St. Patrick's Day celebrates Irish culture. Puerto Rico is a Caribbean island too, but there's a Puerto Rican Day Parade festival, and that's separate from the Caribbean Day Festival. The Dominican Dominican Republic Festival, that's I think in the Bronx. That's a Caribbean island. Well, actually, it's a shared island, right next to Haiti. Same island, just on the east side. They got their own day, but and then you have with this, right? So you might have a situation where, you might have to split some of this up. You might have to have a Haiti celebration, a Trinidad celebration. You might have to.
You mean split it up the different Caribbean cultures?
I don't know if that will cut the violence part down. I honestly don't know, but I'm just giving a fair assessment. I just made a comparison to other festivals of other cultures having their own. I mean, is there such thing as a St. Patrick's / Italian Day parade?
No.
There isn't. And I guess the Italian part would be Columbus, right?
Yes.
So there's not a St. Patrick's Columbus Day parade on the same day?
No.
They don't put that together.
No.
And I know what some people are thinking out there. Oh, I hear this all the time. So let me address this real quickly. Then we're going to move on to Houston. Oh, this is what happens when you have a whole bunch of black folks together. First off, at the St. Patrick's celebration, there were fights. If it didn't happen during the parade, it happened that night or the day before.
I heard some fights.
All that drunkenness. I've seen video footage. And there was I don't know about shootings, but I think there was a stabbing because there was a fight and,
Oh, see?
One of them guys had them things on him.
They don't talk about that too much.
No, they don't. That's not thrown in your face like that. And, here's another thing I want to say about that. I noticed that there's more of a sense of pride that black people have to participate, some black folks, to participate in other parades that are culturally not to theirs. I'll give an example. On St. Patrick's Day, I see black folks wearing all green. Got the shamrocks.
Yep, I see it too.
I mean, they literally go to the store and buy a box of Lucky Charms and cut the leprechaun logo out and make a shirt out of it. Or they go get them Boston Celtics jerseys. And now it's Celtic pride. I just wish black folks felt that more serious about their own thing that celebrates them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't see an abundance of European descendants, to put that politely. I don't see an abundance of European descendants, Anglo descendants, up at the Caribbean Day Parade wearing all Jamaican flags, and I don't see them doing that when our stuff happens. I don't see them embracing it, and they don't even culturally appropriate it.
Yeah,
like black folks culturally will appropriate some of this stuff from all these other parades. Now I know historically in the land of Ireland, here's a little gold nugget for y'all, no pun intended, that the African tribe by the name of the Pygmies were in Ireland. So when they said the words Black Irish, I don't know if they're referring to them, but let's just say there were black folks in Ireland. Facts. I get it. I get that. But that's not what St. Patrick's Day is about. Columbus Day ain't about, these are not what these, and this is not just to get on St. Patty's Day all the time. I'm just making an example that when it comes to St. Patrick's Day, when it comes to any of these other parades, even the Halloween parade, black folks will be on their best behavior when it comes to those parades.
You got that right. Preach it.
So why not with this?
Yeah.
Where y'all at when Dashiki Day comes? I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm at fault. I at times I never know when it is. Black Solidarity Day. That's supposed to be I think this month as well. I don't know these days because half of the anything when it comes to us culturally, we gotta research it. It's not really presented. So on these days, I mean, shoot, I'll tell you something right now. I haven't been to any of the Caribbean Day parades. I could have been to one of them, but something happened that day. There was some fireworks, if you know what I mean.
Yo, Phil, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
During the Halloween Day parade, have you ever heard any crazy violence?
During what parade? The Halloween parade?
Yeah.
Maybe off to the side, but not to the point where it messes up the whole event. No.
All right. What about the Columbus Day parade?
I've never heard a situation where it messes up the event.
No.
Well, St. Patrick's Day, same as that. I never hear a situation that would mess up the event. That's why I said that it may not happen during the actual televised portion of the parade. Yeah. But maybe something happens later on that night on that same block, but it doesn't mess up the event.
Yeah. So for the life of me, I can't understand why our folks can be on the best behavior.
They could be on their best behavior.
Yeah, I don't get it, because my thing is
when it comes to these other parades.
Yeah, when it comes to other parades,
not the ones that celebrate our own culture.
You're dressed like a black leprechaun, and you're dressed just up.
You dressed up like you
the
dressed
festivities up, like look like a crazy I don't want to say doofballs. You're on Halloween.
You dressed up like leprechaun in the hood,
like Spider-Man, Peter Parker, but yet for our one day, you can't represent. Come on, man. Something is wrong somewhere.
You know what I said off air, and I'm going to hand it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what I said off air? I said that the reason why I think a lot of the stuff that happens at these quote-unquote black parades is because of the Willie Lynchism spirit seems to be activated on that day. And for those who don't know, Willie Lynchism, the letter, was about putting black folks against each other.
Yes.
And that was his plan for 300 years and beyond.
Divide and conquer.
Exactly. And here's something that has been taught to black folks, and this is what we got.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens on the day of the parade. Mm-hmm. Also, Willie Lynchism taught black folks that amongst white people to be on your best behavior, to fear them. So this is why black folks, when it comes to Macy's Day Parade, when it comes to the Christopher Columbus Parade, St. Patrick's, the Halloween Parade, even the Christmas Parade.
Yes.
And what, they got a New Year's? I don't know.
Thanksgiving.
Whatever the heck they got. Whatever the heck they got going on. Even when the ball drops on New Year's Eve, black folks will be on their best behavior. Okay?
Come on.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that is obviously some type of teaching. And also, call me a conspiracy theorist, but I believe that, and this is no different from what happened during the Civil Rights Movement, that there are agents that are involved in these parades, and they do stuff to mess up the thing anyway, just so they could just cancel it.
Well,
that's what I think happens.
You know what I think too? And I'm going to go back to during the Jim Crow era, during the Civil Rights Movement. During the Dr. King's demonstrations, they were hired. The FBI, the CIA were hired, I've heard they were hired.
No, this is a fact. COINTELPRO. Speak on it.
They were hired some of our folks, young black folks, pay them a little money on the side to sabotage the demonstration. They would do it. And Bull Connor, he would take his dog. He would. During that time, they would CIA would hire some of our folks, male black young folks, to sabotage, push, and to shove, and to cause a chaotic rampage during the demonstrations. And this is what I believe. I'm not too sure, but this could be happening during the Labor Day Day Parade. Because why is it that a death or an injury have to occur at this time? Every single year, it doesn't skip a beat.
Yeah. We if you're done with that, we have to move on.
Yeah, we're gonna go into Hurricane
Harvey in Houston and the Texas coastal cities within the Gulf Coast. I'm also gonna go in on this Pastor Joel Osteen situation.
Speak on it. Yep.
My sentiments are going to be different from what people expect, me being a man of the faith. So get ready for what I'm about to say. I'm going to explain both sides of the Joel Osteen situation. Both sides. Now let's talk about this. All my heart, with all the compassion in my heart, thoughts and prayers are with the people of Houston. All people.
All people, yes.
I mean, I hate to see what happened. It looks like Hurricane Katrina.
Yes.
I'm not even, that when I saw that, I said, Jesus Lord. I said, this looks just like New Orleans. Although some people say it's worse because of how much of the city got flooded. Houston is huge.
I heard of one death. That's what I heard. A police officer.
Gotta be more than that. Let's see what the death toll is today. So, it's just sad. A lot of people have lost everything.
Yes.
And they were talking about how recently today, because today's the first week of the rent, the 1st and the 5th. So, the 1st being when it's due. If it's after the 5th, it's late. Y'all know the deal. Today, as we're recording, is September 5th. So they were talking about how a lot of the landlords and a lot of the property management from all over the place were demanding rent, and a lot of people are not able to pay their rent. So now this is going to cause a financial problem now. A lot of these people are not going to have places to come home to, even if they wanted to. The mortgage still got to be due. I mean, just because your house got destroyed, don't mean now the mortgage don't have to be paid. So you still got that dynamic.
Yeah, I mean,
it just goes to show you that when you own a house and then it ain't paid off, you don't really own it yet.
Yeah, but I think there's a thing called I don't know.
No,
hardship.
Of course, there's an insurance. Of course, we have these things that come into play. Of course, we do.
Because
of course we do. There's there's always disaster situations when this happens. But speaking from somebody who has for somebody who's lost his apartment in a fire before, my rent still had to be paid. Now I got placed in another apartment, but I'm just saying insurance took care of the damages, but insurance didn't stop me from not paying rent. So I'm just giving an example of I myself lost something at one point, and then rent still had to be due, and I didn't get a credit on my rent, and I didn't cause the fire. They wasn't trying to heal that. They know who caused the fire. I'm just giving an example. I'm just giving an example of something that can happen to your property. Well, it's not your property. If you're a renter, you still got to do what you got to do. So that's what's happening, right?
Right.
A lot of people are telling these their landlords and everybody else, like, yo, we lost money. We lost, we're not going to be able to pay this rent now.
Right.
So then, like I said, that causes now a whirlwind, a tailspin for these people. I have a question for you. And take all the time you need. There was an interesting observation. I have to attack this early on. They were comparing the New Orleans tragedy to Houston. Okay?
Yeah.
They said that the White House got word of how much rain was going to be coming to Houston before the storm hit. That sounds very similar.
Yes.
To New Orleans when they said when Katrina was coming, the category of the storm and the possible strength to break the levees.
The levees, yes, I remember that. Yes.
At the time, President Bush was in at that time.
Yes, he was in at that time.
Okay. A lot of people were saying that Trump knew allegedly about this and didn't act quick enough on it. The reason, so I'm saying this, and I'm beginning to Trump. Oh, everybody listening. I'm gonna go in on Trump. I would go in on any president in this situation if we didn't handle nothing. Cause here in New York, when Hurricane Sandy hit us, Obama was the president.
Yes.
And if he would have slacked off, he would have caught the heat too.
2012.
And he did what he could, and he came to the place and all that, whatever time he needed to, whatever here. He seemed to have more compassion for what happened than maybe the others did when events happened when they were in office. Okay, so I don't want people to think, that I didn't forget that, because I can speak to Hurricane Sandy in New York directly, because me and you are here.
We was involved in it. We was in it.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll leave that conversation a little later, because I'm gonna tell you why I said Obama, because Trump supporters and people who don't understand things said that Obama didn't handle Katrina correctly. He wasn't the president, genius.
I laugh at that because I remember somebody telling me that Obama didn't handle Katrina well, and I said I looked at him very strange, and I said,
yeah,
well, how was Obama? Wait a minute, hold on. You blaming him, and he was not even a president at the time.
He didn't even run.
How uneducated are you? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He didn't even.
Do you follow the news, sir?
He didn't even run yet.
He was not even in office yet.
We didn't even know his name yet.
I didn't know who he was at that time.
At that time?
Come on.
I had no idea about a Barack Hussein Obama.
Bush was president. I said, come
exactly.
I laughed because I'm like, these people are so ignorant what they say. I said, before you come to blur out your anger and blur out what you read facts first. Educate yourself.
But But before we get to that, because I know we're gonna need time on that. Let me get back to what I was phrasing the question.
Okay.
So Katrina in New Orleans basically became ground zero, and then also a lot of people didn't have their homes. A lot of rebuilding and gentrification happened, not for the actual homeowners who were in these areas. So a lot of people think this could happen with Houston. What is your opinion on that?
Wow. I think there's a lot of people that's just like Katrina. I think at the time there's some people that's trying to donate money, or they donating clothes, and they donating. But you see, with Louisiana, it was more of our folks there, so it was more of a we were helping, but we're helping. We're gonna see what we can. The levees broke. We're gonna see what we can do. But it was more like it looked like a third world country, Louisiana at that time. It was a point where it was more like we were left to like fend for ourselves. And people abandoning the city like crazy. I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing people so much abandonment in Houston. I'm not hearing that.
No.
I'm not hearing abandonment in here. I heard about back in 2005. I heard abandonment in Louisiana.
Even though Houston got a lot of water.
Yeah, but I'm not hearing a great abandonment.
New Orleans looked like a bomb hit it.
Yes, it did, and it didn't even look like the United States. It just looked like
that whole Ninth Ward district and all that.
It was destroyed, and people were leaving in the truckloads. People leaving, just saying, we done with Louisiana. Leaving in the truck. Baton Rouge was destroyed. They're leaving. They're going to leave it. I'm not hearing a great exodus happening in Houston, no. but I'm hearing I'm hearing donations. I'm hearing people trying to help and trying to do as much as they can with Houston, and I'm hearing different things. I'm hearing that you can donate yourself. You can donate socks. You can donate anything you want to donate to Houston. As far as the help that Houston is getting, maybe there is some help. I'm got to get more information on the help that Houston is getting, but it didn't look like Katrina. That's all I know. Katrina, people. I mean, when I looked at pictures of Katrina, it looked like a bomb hit. It looked like people were just trying to.
Yeah, it looked like a war zone.
Yeah, and now folks were not getting the proper treatment. That's why Kanye West made that statement. The proper treatment that we're supposed to get.
Yeah.
But Houston, I'm not hearing that with Houston. Houston, they're getting a little better treatment. Houston is getting.
Well, the good thing about Houston, which is also different from New Orleans, is that the water was able to go back into the ocean in some of these parts, as opposed to here's the thing. Here's what I'm hearing from people who were there. but not from the actual media because we have people's witness accounts.
Mm-hmm.
There are witness accounts that claim that because Houston is a bigger city than New Orleans, that as far as the actual water that spread throughout the city,
yes,
they say that's worse in that sense. Katrina, from what I saw, the water level was higher than what I see in Houston. And what I mean by higher is that people, if your house was high enough, and if your house was 2 stories, a little bit of roof was there to keep you from falling into the water. I mean, those are the things that Katrina showed me.
Yes.
What Houston is showing me is that the water has spread because Houston. I don't think people understand. Houston is like a whole bunch of cities in one because of the actual land size.
Yeah.
You know, and you know Houston already is prone to flooding. That city was not built right in terms of its actual sewer system and stuff like that. As far as its water system, I don't like how that city was built because anytime it rains, just a little bit of rain will flood areas all the time in these places in Houston. So when Harvey hit, forget about it. And they had like over 50-something inches of rain, and then it still rained. That was the problem, is that here you were still having rain, and now there's another hurricane coming. There's a hurricane that's
Irma and what? Yeah.
No. What is it called? Yeah. You said it.
Yeah, Irma, and then something else is supposed to be hitting the Caribbean.
There's one that I think there's one that developed in they always come off the coast of Africa.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get into these. I'm gonna get into something very interesting about these hurricanes and why they always develop in these areas since the Atlantic slave trade. Wait till I tell you that. Probably already know it, some of you.
Wow.
So, this hurricane hit all this water. Now they were talking about, Trump. They was like, when's he gonna get there? When's he gonna get there? And it's funny because Obama was down there feeding the homeless. Him and his daughter.
Wow.
He was down there. And he ain't even the president no more.
Yeah, see?
So he was down there helping out. A lot of people try to help out as best as they can. The problem is you had homeless I would say homeless shelters, but you had these disaster shelters that were flooded too. So, that's a problem.
That's a problem, yeah. Yes.
I kid you not, there's photos and video footage of people in the high schools on the benches, right? Sitting up in the bleachers, and there's water in the basketball court. There's water in the basketball court, man. You know what I'm saying? That sounds kind of crazy to me, all right?
Yeah.
So that's what's going on in these places. What I like, hold on, before I get to what I like, another thing is a lot of their freeways are flooded. So now you can't even drive nowhere.
Yeah, you're trapped.
So this is what they were saying. They were saying that now a lot of the water has kind of treaded back lately as we're doing this podcast, as we're showing this. So everything is not like what it was the first couple of days. I'm glad we're in a situation where we can get some dryness, because that's what Houston needs. That. Yeah. But then also you were hearing that there were certain things that they had to do to let other areas wash out so that the water can get out. So the problem is, anytime you got water that has to leave the downtown part of Houston, it's going to go into other parts of the city. So now places around it will flood. You know what I'm saying? Here's what's going to happen now. This always happens when something like this happens. As far as like your renters and home insurance is going to skyrocket. Car insurance skyrocket. Yeah. All of this stuff is going to go up anytime there's something happen.
Yeah.
But the one thing, but the one thing people need to be careful about, and I'm gonna bring it back to you on gentrification thing, because that's what I was asking, is that a lot of people got to be careful with this. When these storms happen, and they did it with Sandy. When these storms happen, and let's say this area is a particular area they've had their eyes on to gentrify. That's basically what they needed to happen to kind of make it easier for them to do it, because people are already displaced. So that's why I was saying do you think the same thing that happened to Katrina in that regard can happen in an abundance of areas in Houston? Because a lot of the areas in Houston, from what I was told, were so-called areas that they want to be up and coming. And you know what that means when you hear the words up and coming.
Yes. Young. Yep. Yeah, young, youthful.
So what's your opinion on what you think? You think that's going to happen?
I'm thinking Houston's gonna be rebuilt, but it's gonna be what they're gonna do is put the now because of the flooding, they're gonna raise certain things, and there's gonna be a flood insurance, and now most people, when they hear flood in Houston, that's not gonna be too much people moving to Houston now. Areas that's supposed to be up and coming now. Do you think it's gonna be? You think it's gonna be up and coming right now? Now they know that Houston is a city that floods. Who knows,
dude? I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I wanted to move to Houston.
Yeah,
that plan is finished now because this could happen again.
It's scary, yeah.
And the reason why I say this is because the way the city was built. For years, I've been hearing Houston is a bad area when it comes to rain because of these areas. They don't have the water. Has nowhere to go. Wow. The water has nowhere to go. So this is what happens. New Orleans, the way New Orleans was built. New Orleans was a city, if I'm not mistaken, was built on top of water. You know what I'm saying? So what do?
So that's why the levees were placed there, right? To keep the water out of the city.
The levees were placed there, to keep the city from being flooded by the ocean. Because the city itself is below sea level.
Sea level, see?
And those levees never got worked on. Let's just put it like this: the mayor at the time of New Orleans, okay, he had said to the state government and the federal government, look, I don't know how long these levees are going to hold up. And these are old levees. And they have to be, they need to either be rebuilt. A levee is kind of like a wall.
It's a wall, yes.
And I remember seeing the footage of the levee break and water pushing
through that levee. Yeah,
pushing. Like I said, water has to go somewhere. Water is not like fire.
That goes out.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes.
Fire needs certain elements for it to spread. Water, if you put it in a cup and you cut the bottom of the cup open, water will go everywhere because water has to go somewhere.
It has to go somewhere, yes.
Water damage is probably the worst. Fire damage is bad, don't get me wrong. But water damage will destroy electricity, everything. Water damage will tear stuff up.
Yes. Because it needs to go somewhere.
It has to go. The water has to go somewhere. So this is the problem with the situation in New Orleans. Now with Houston, Houston's probably going to need a levee system.
Yes.
You know, it's probably gonna it's gonna need floodgates built somewhere in this. You're gonna have to, when you rebuild Houston, you have to rebuild. Okay, when you quote unquote rebuild these areas in Houston, right? You have to build in mind that this can happen again. And you have to do it correctly. You don't want people's lives lost. I mean, this is disgusting. And then, yeah, you're right. People will be deterred from Houston. And they're like, dude, they're like, yo, son, I don't even want to go there. Because freaking Hurricane Kim could happen next.
Yes. You know, it's a reality. It's a reality check that, listen, the city has a water problem, and people need more, and they'll need it, and because of it, the insurance that you need on your home, flood insurance that you need on your home, that's gonna go up. And what's gonna happen? People are gonna lose their insurance. That could be insured. Also, people might not even be insured because it's like, okay, Houston is a bad, like this happened here on Staten Island when you want to get a home on all the insurance was pulling out for Staten Island. Like, okay, when Sandy hit Staten Island, the homes, they were pulling away. You know, and I'm like, why? Okay, it was not our fault that this happened. You know what I'm saying? So they're pulling the insurance away from us. I'm like, okay, but it's not our fault. So they're dropping people like left and right. Same thing will happen to Houston, the citizens of Houston. And that when that happens, people are reluctant to move to that city because it's like, okay, so and so happened, so why am I gonna go there?
Especially if you have low ground. Now, what will happen is that people will try to move to areas that have hills, so they'll more so try to be high ground.
Yes,
but like I said, water damage will disable electricity, so now you don't have power. You know what I'm saying? So you might be in a building. I'll give a great example. Hurricane Sandy hit, right? I live on it where I used to live.
Yes.
Okay, well, where I live now is on a hill as well. But where I used to live, I lived in a building that was, I think, how many stories high? I can't recall. I think 13, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
Okay. 18. Dang, it don't matter. I used to live in an apartment building. Okay, it was on top of a hill, not too far away from the Staten Island ferry. That area got flooded, right? The ferry part.
Yes.
But I'm so high up on the hill, we didn't get the water. We didn't get the flood. But what we did is get to a situation where our power was done. So we didn't have power for days.
Yes, I remember.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And but we had the winds. The winds tore down trees and knocked down all power lines because a hurricane is not just the rain; it's also the coastal tide. Because even if you don't get the rain, because remember with Hurricane Sandy, we didn't get the rain that they said we was gonna get at the height of it. But what the problem was, you had the coastal tides high, and they ended up coming in and going over, the damage a good part of Staten Island. Queens, Far Rockaway, Queens got hit bad. Parts of Long Island got hit. Parts of Brooklyn,
Jersey,
wherever you could think of. I mean, they got hit.
Yeah.
Jersey, the state of Jersey got hit very bad.
Very bad.
There were neighborhoods that, like the very small town things that you could barely see on the map. Those areas don't exist no more. Because they got wiped, all that stuff got wiped out. And when water sometimes hit these houses, remember, you have your gas tanks and all that. A lot of them blew up. So then now you have fires that happen on top of the hurricane. And then remember what I said. The elements of fire need wind.
Yeah.
The wind pushed the fire and ended up burning up these houses and stuff like that, these places. So Sandy was more than just water. It was the winds. The winds was like, it was like tornadoes kind of. It was like tornado winds, stronger than tornado winds.
Yes.
So they ended up doing the damage too, just like with Harvey. Harvey was a category 4, which is strong.
Wow.
Katrina was a 5. That was the strongest. So, and then now they're saying that the Hurricane Irma can become a 4. It's a 2 now, I think.
Yeah.
But they said if it goes even further into the heat, because hurricanes need warm weather, just like tornadoes. If it gets cold down there, that'll destroy that.
Yes.
But hurricanes and all tropical storms, all tropical storms need warm weather. When they got the warm weather, that's what increases the strength. It's the strongest when it's on water because it feeds from the water, and all this other stuff, and then the water ends up getting up. And I get that, but the heat, you need it to be cold. So, and we're talking about a part of the South that is still hot around this time of the season.
Yes.
So it's hard for the Florida and all these areas to be cold around this time of year.
Yes.
This is why hurricane season is this time of the year.
It's this time of the year.
It's usually August.
Yes.
It's that late August,
early September. Yes.
That area. That's a bad time.
Yes.
Hurricane season is always after tornado season. Tornado season is like the spring, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't want to ramble too far off, but let's talk about the politics side of this, okay?
Let's go. Yeah.
So Now, you have a situation where a lot of people have lost everything they have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, a lot of people are still going to be looking for shelter. There's going to be a lot of displacements.
Mm-hmm.
When these people come back home, I hope they don't run into trouble. I don't want them to run into trouble because this has happened with Hurricane Katrina. These people came home, and then also I want to talk about the safety out there. My people, in particular, I just want to talk to first. I'll talk to everybody else next.
Mm-hmm.
My people in particular, don't take for granted that because there's a storm that nothing ain't gonna happen. Just understand that the climate that we're in right now, whatever that we've always been in, but especially this month, we had Charlottesville that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So don't think that the same people of the Charlottesville mentality, which is white supremacy, won't think of an opportunity to do it in Houston. If anybody knows anything about Houston, there's a lot of neo-Nazis in Houston now. Gun-carrying neo-Nazis.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
I want my people out there to be safe. Do not be alone. Do not be alone. Travel in groups. Women, do not be alone. Jesus Christ, I can't reiterate that again. Women, do not be alone with you need men around.
Yes, don't think that you can handle it by yourself.
Okay, I don't want, because this is what happened in Katrina. There was a lot of rapes.
Oh, I heard about
New
that.
Orleans.
I did not mention that, but there is. Well, yeah.
Kids were being raped. Kids.
Yes. It was opportunity for the prowlers to come aboard, the perps and the.
It brings them all up.
The perpetrators, the pedophiles,
the sex offenders. They're all together because they got displaced too.
Yes.
Then the shelter's with you.
Yes. And
They don't
a lot of that in Katrina. I remember that.
Yeah, that happened with Katrina. They ain't got time to figure out whether you're a pedophile or not. So you all up in there. The kids, the babies. I get more upset when I hear the babies being messed with. You know I don't like that.
Yeah.
Protect yourselves at all times and be together, family.
This is
be together.
Yeah.
Don't, I'm going to go ahead and try to head down to so-and-so street real quick. No, not without me.
No.
It's not happening. There were reports of violence, shootings happening.
Katrina, yeah.
No, I'm talking about Houston right now. There were reports of shootings going down.
I heard some looting.
Robberies. I heard about looting too.
I heard about looting.
Rapes, all of that have already taken place.
Yeah, see? So this is the time. This is the time to band together as family and band together. And you see, and you're right, Fifth. You see, women do not walk alone. Don't think that you're Superman.
No.
Unless you're like Bruce Lee. Please don't walk. Even if you're like Bruce Lee.
Even if you're like Bruce Lee. Come on now. No woman was put on this earth to take Floyd Mayweather punches from a man.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care. Look, all my ladies out there, this ain't about sexism. I love all y'all. This is why I'm saying this. I don't want y'all to be alone.
It's true.
Stop it.
It's true.
God forbid my mother. I don't even like.
Yes. It's a safety.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with you. It ain't got nothing to do. This ain't nothing about no sexism here. All right. This ain't got nothing to do.
This is not a time to be alone or be alone wandering the streets.
No, I don't want men
in Houston.
If you're a man, I don't want you to be alone because you gonna get jumped on. Okay, so as the fellas, y'all be in groups. Everybody be in groups. I don't want nobody alone.
Don't send the kids to school alone. Let them go with their. No schools can't.
Yeah, schools are shut down right now.
Shut down. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but these are things that we got to talk about. Anything you want to say on that? My bad. I didn't spoke so.
No, man. You said a lot, man. I mean, you're right. The safety of the people is very important, man. In Houston right now, my prayers go out to those who lost their homes. Some people lost everything. I remember Hurricane Sandy where people lost everything. People telling me that they lost everything here, but my heart goes right now is Hurricane Harvey, and people lost a lot of stuff, and they just need some donations. They need a little help. They need a little lending hand at this time because there's a lot that people lost.
Speaking of donations, I want your opinion on this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, There's always scams.
Yes.
Even from the big names.
Yes.
Let's not get it twisted.
Yes.
You saw this with Haiti and other places.
Yes.
Even Katrina.
Yes.
We need direct donations.
Direct donations, yes.
Do you have any advice for people who want to donate? Food, money, clothes, anything?
Yes. Make sure before you donate to any organizations, make sure you do your research. Make sure it's getting to the people. And how you do that? There's ways of doing that. You can actually. Is there flights? Any flights going on in Houston at this time? None, right? I don't think so.
The airport got shut down, runways.
Right?
Got damaged, and even some of the planes because of the flooding. But I think they resumed it. By now, they probably did. I don't know.
I wonder if there's any phone connections there too, because I know you can make sure that your loved ones get the donations that they need. Because it's one thing in sending donations, but there's another thing in it getting there to the people that need it. That's the thing with that's the funny thing with donations. You want to make sure that they get it. Yeah. You want to make sure that they get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So here's the thing that I want to express here. You have situations where, like we were saying about a lot of scams, right? A lot of scams. And so, you don't want to have a situation where you done gave some money and the people that you gave the money to, they don't even see it. That is a disaster. We can't have that happen. Okay. I wish I had some type of context or whatever that I can give for people for trustworthy donations, but I just want to say any food pantry groups out there, just make sure that things are going properly with that. Make sure that the people are getting the food they need, because a lot of people down there are saying this. Look, we may just have the clothes on our backs, but we're starving. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of businesses out there are closed. So you're not able to really go to all stores at the time. There might be some stores now, but they couldn't even go to stores to get nothing to eat. You know what I'm saying? And then it's hard to drive into there. Because like I said, the highways and all that, freeways are flooded. Yeah. So a lot of people are able to, they had to bring food in with helicopters. You know what I mean? Like, it's looking very bad. And also, I heard this, Zaccheus, that in the earlier time of it when the storm hit, that 911 didn't even pick up the phone.
Wow.
So you were definitely on your own.
Yeah. That's why so much things happen. Because now it's like free for all. Yeah.
You know what? Now let's get to this. I had to save the best for last. Pastor Joel Osteen. I'm sure you've heard of that name.
Of course.
And if you haven't heard of it before, you probably know it by now. So he has a huge church.
Mega church.
Huge. I think he has the biggest church building in the United States.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, in the United States. His building is a football stadium. It really is. It's that big. So he's one of the most known pastors in the world.
Evangelists, yeah.
At that,
yes.
People got on him. I'm trying to figure out why people singled him out. Like, there are other ministries down there. You got Dr. Ivy Hilliard's ministry in Houston. I didn't hear his name come up, probably because people don't know him like that. So a lot of people got on Joe Osteen. I'm trying to figure out why they singled him out.
I think I have an idea, but okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you speak that. Yes. So we want to get into this. Let me do the both sides thing here before we get into the actual backlash that he got. So he recently in his service said, he explained why they weren't taking in evacuees, right? And he showed pictures of his church. He said in the past, when I think it was Hurricane Rita, when that hit, water came in and flooded the bottom level of the part of the church, and the seats got flooded.
Oh man!
And parts of the bottom. And he said ever since then they built these floodgates to prevent the waters from coming in. He said that the flood water actually ended up going over some of the gates.
Wow!
So they had to still get water out of the facility. And he said the reason why he didn't have people come in, I'm just going off of what he said that Sunday. that he didn't people happen because God forbid somebody got hurt, somebody would have got lost in the building, God forbid somebody drowned. He said that would be even worse. Now, this is what he said at the Sunday, but there were things he said before that. You know, he said something about, you know, he wanted to wait until the shelters were full, then start taking people in.
Oh, okay.
So that was one thing that was also said. And also, he said simply that they didn't ask. So that's another thing that he alleged to saying. That I don't have any proof about that one.
Yeah.
Allegedly, he said the reason why he didn't open the doors for them was because, you know, the government simply didn't ask.
They simply didn't ask.
Right. So a lot of people are saying, whether it be in the church or not in the church, yo, man, you know, this is what the church is for, man. It's supposed to be a place where you can seek refuge, get that help and stuff like that. I actually agree, okay? But then I'll say on this side, I'm going to say this before I get into what I got to say. I am not defending Joel Osteen. And I'm going to tell you why I don't defend him in a minute. So then you have people who saying, yo, so now you want to go into church? When there was no flood, where was you then? Whatever. Good point, but whatever.
Right.
Gives a crap. The church is not about, oh, because you didn't want to come that day, then now when you need help, you don't get it at all? What? That is not what Acts, the book of Acts, is about. Oh, because you didn't come last Sunday, now that you need help, don't come in at all. Now, Joel Osteen didn't say that. I'm not saying he said that. I'm talking about some of the people in the Christian community said this.
Yeah.
What the heck is wrong with y'all talking like that?
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
There's the churches, some churches, I'm not saying all, but they have some people in the body, some of them, that they believe in being loyal to the congregation, meaning that if you don't put in a donation, if they don't see you, that means they feel that you're not part of their body. So therefore, they're not gonna extend their help to help you out when the time of need if you're help, because they feel that, okay, like I have one pastor, I don't call no names. I have one pastor told me that, well, they don't do they haven't donated anything, so why should I offer my services to them? No, I don't understand when we talk about being in the kingdom, being part of the kingdom, everybody that's saved is a part of the kingdom, not just churches. People talking about a building,
church building, right?
Yeah, they're talking about it. They confined it to being just a church building. That's gonna make a difference. Well, okay, if I'm part of your church, oh now you get services. The church should be open to everybody. It's a community effort. When Jesus talked about being the help, he didn't just talk about, well, I'm gonna just help this church, I'm gonna just help the Lutheran out, I'm gonna just help this denomination, I'm gonna help that denomination. He helped everyone. So that's what it says. People like to preach, but living the example and being an example is more important than the preaching, because I can want a piece of bread, but you don't want to give me a piece of bread. When I ask you for a piece of bread, but you rather preach to me. No, I need a piece of bread now because I'm hungry.
Yeah,
I'm hungry now. Yeah, I can get to you. Then you can give me preaching. I don't want to preaching to me.
Preach while I eat.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So this is where people sometimes get turned off of going to church. Sometimes they get turned off of going to church because of that. Because they're like, well, they're not the church didn't open their doors to me. I came to the church and didn't open their doors to me because of such and such. Because maybe they didn't see me put in a donation, or maybe they didn't see me come last Sunday or Sunday before that, or Sunday or 3 Sundays in a row. So when I need the help, now all of a sudden the church doors are closed, and they're not able to get me because they don't see me. It shouldn't be that way.
Let me go ahead and eat this Jamaican beef patty.
Yeah.
While you read me first
Yeah.
Well, you read me first Corinthians chapter 11, verse 5 or something. Let me go ahead and eat this Popeye's biscuit
while you just read to me.
While you read me
John chapter 3:16.
Word, exactly. Let me go ahead. You know what I mean? I mean, we're joking, but the point I'm making is that the church is not supposed to be this place where we're petty, and then because you didn't come last Sunday, you ain't welcome this Sunday. No. Miss me with that bull crap. Now, let me get into the meat and potatoes of why I'm not speaking in support of Joel Osteen and why I don't defend him. Mm-hmm. Get ready for this. Tyler Perry donated some money to him. One article says he donated $500,000. Another article says he did it $1 million. I don't know. Don't care. Me, the fifth general, is not going to defend Joel Osteen in this particular regard. I see abundance of black folks supporting this man. Nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. You can support him. Whatever your heart desires, support him. Mm-hmm. But when a black pastor gets attacked, I don't see that same support from the white Christian community, which is supposed to be the same community, but we know that they tend to be with themselves. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. Anytime somebody comes against, I'm using an example, anytime somebody comes against T.D. Jakes, do you see Joel Osteen or any other white pastors saying, leave my brother alone?
No.
You don't.
No.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't.
But I find it interesting that when Joel Osteen gets attacked, you got a lot of black folks cooning and yucking it up, defending this man. But those same black folks looked at Joel Osteen with the side eye when he made excuses in the political world when he was defending Mitt Romney, who was a Mormon, who, if anybody knows anything about, I'm going there.
Yes, gotta go there.
Anybody knows anything, if anybody knows anything about the Book of Mormon, what they believe, how black people became black people. They believe we became that way because when Satan rebelled against God, that he cursed him and cursed his skin and his look, and his the followers of him, the angels who followed him, who later became demons after that, fallen angels, all of a sudden now created this race of black folks. That's what the original Book of Mormon teaches. Joel Osteen made excuses for supporting that guy. When Trump went, this is coming full circle. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When Trump got in, when Trump was running, Joel Osteen made excuses for why he somewhat supports him. Now, he didn't say I endorse him, but when they asked him about Trump, he was very, soft about his questions. I believe he's a nice guy. Joel Osteen's a nice guy. I get it. So he's going to talk nice. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I get it. But that's why I don't support him. I am not going to support a pastor who makes excuses for giving some type of support to suspected white supremacists. You all will not get no support from me. Okay?
Definitely not from me.
The brother, and he's a brother, and I use that term loosely, Wayne T. Jackson supported Trump, a suspected white supremacist who is becoming less suspected, becoming more open. He made his reasons for why he supports him. So therefore, Wayne T. Jackson, I don't support you either. And same thing with that coon Scott. whatever the heck his name is, and Omarosa's coon behind.
Oh yeah, Omarosa's, yeah, and you know.
Good Lord, the cotton that show picked for that man. Okay.
Couple of dollars, okay.
Hey, Creflo Dollar.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Lord forgive me, but he got 2 drops of coon in him too. Mm-hmm. You might have 5 drops. You might have a whole cup full of coon water. Coon water. Yeah, he drinks coon water.
Yeah, he drinks coon water. I'm not a black man. I'm a Christian. Well, okay.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah, that's no different from OJ saying, "I'm not black. I'm OJ." Okay. You know what I'm saying? So Creflo Dollar, Lord forgive me, but he drinks coon water. Go ahead, Zaccheus.
Yo. If you don't support your own kind, you're a coon. If you hit your own kind, you're a coon. If you hit your own kind, you're a coon.
You're a coon. You're a coon. You're a coon.
If you support Donald Trump, you're a coon. You're a coon. You're a coon. You're a coon.
Willie D.
You're a coon. You're a coon. You're a coon. You're a coon.
Exactly.
If you like Charles Barkley, you're a coon. You're a coon. You're a coon. You're a coon. Okay, I have to get that out. Okay.
Exactly. Matter of fact, no, hold on. You know what? I have a song for all you people out there cooning and yucking it up for Joel Osteen. Follow my lead. Good, got a mining, I'ma pick a bale of cotton. Good, got a mining, I'ma pick a bale a day. Good, got a mining, I'ma pick a bale of cotton. Good, got a mining, I'ma pick a bale a day. Oh, Lord, they pick a bale of cotton. Oh, Lord, they pick a bale a day. Oh, Lord, they pick a bale of cotton. Oh, Lord, they pick a bale a day. Good, got a mining, I'ma pick a bale of cotton. Good, got a mining, I'ma pick a bale a day. Good, got a mining, I'ma pick a bale of cotton. Good, got a mining, I'ma pick a bale a day. Oh, Lord, they pick a bale of cotton. Oh, Lord, they pick a bale a day. Oh, Lord, they pick a bale of cotton. Oh, Lord, they pick a bale a day. Okay. Now that I got that out my system.
Good.
That's how y'all look, man. That's how y'all look. That's how y'all look. Okay? You know, I'm sorry. That's how y'all look.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know some people would say, I know some people will hear this and say, "Yo, man, faith over culture, God over culture, God over culture."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but if you an individual make excuses for supporting a suspected white supremacist, I ain't down with you. I ain't riding with you. I ain't.
Tell the truth.
That just ain't me. You know, Zaccheus, any word you got to say on this? Because we're gonna wrap it up soon.
Okay, man. I mean, man. It's true though, Fib. I mean, if listen, let me tell you something. If TD Jakes is in Dallas, man. If he did that, he wouldn't have got no support like that, man. He wouldn't have got no support like that.
TD Jakes,
maybe a few of our folks would have supported him, but not like how they supporting Joel Osteen though.
TD Jakes is in Dallas, but I remember he helped out during Katrina.
Yeah, see.
So this is why TD Jakes don't. TD would help.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is why he not catching heat like that.
Right.
TD has caught a lot of heat, and I've been critical of TD. TD at times. Look, I'm not afraid to say this. TD Jakes at times has drunk a few glasses of coon water. Okay. He has, but on this particular issue, he not. You know, he would help. I think he would.
Okay, yeah. So, you know, me, man. Dag, man. Yeah. So, no support. Let's just put it together to help people in Houston, the brothers and sisters in Houston man. I'm talking about all folks in Houston, man. I mean, man, but But suspected white supremacists, man, we can't get down with that.
No,
man.
we can't get. I can't get down with anybody who supports that.
Yeah.
Whether you black, white, Chinese, Mexican, whatever. If you support, suspected white supremacists,
big up to
and
Willie
make excuses for it.
Big
exactly. Shout out
to Willie D, man. Yeah, thank you.
Because I don't. And you know, Willie D's from Houston.
Yeah.
So Scarface, like this is interesting because they're from there, and I know that I know they're going through it. I just hope everybody's okay. I heard some sad news. If anybody knows anything about UGK, which is Bun B and Pimp C, rest in peace, Pimp C, out of respect.
Yeah.
Although I'm not a fan of his, but out of respect, rest in peace, Pimp C, died years ago. They said that the floodwaters damaged some UGK archives of music that was unreleased. That's sad. That's history gone.
Yeah.
That's why you always got to make backups. Me and you are artists ourselves, so that's important.
That's important.
You know what I mean?
That's very important to keep your
catalog safe, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that. That was gone.
Yeah, there's an article I think by it was either DJ Booth or Ambrosia for Heads or Double XL, one of the hip hop source magazines.
Man.
They had said one of the websites had said that the family of I think it was either Pimp C's family or a family of Bun B's, one of them.
Yeah.
Said that there was some stuff that got damaged. So that's horrible.
That's terrible. Yeah. Yeah.
That's horrible. There's a couple people from there. Mike Jones is from there. Chameleon there. Paul Wall, Slim Thug. Beyonce's from there.
Yeah, Beyonce's from there.
I
think Kirk Franklin.
Kelly Rowland, LaToya Luckett.
Yeah.
Who else? I think Yolanda Adams is from Houston.
Kirk Franklin, I think.
I think Kirk. He's either from there or Dallas. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you got to protect yourself. And it's sad that had to happen. To me, there's no real way to prepare for a storm.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who tried to leave couldn't leave because they're getting blamed for this. A lot of people. There's footage of the freeways. Didn't even move. There's no gas. All the gas got took. You know how it is. Every time a storm, we had to deal with that with Sandy.
Yes.
With Sandy, we had to wait for gas.
Yes, you remember that? Yeah, remember that? Yes, I remember.
We had to wait for gas.
It took some time to come. Yeah, I remember. Yes.
So
I remember that. Oh yeah.
Because they were using gas for their vehicles and for the generators.
Generators too. Yeah.
So, it's real stuff, real life out there. So we're gonna wrap it up. I'll give my closing statements on this issue, and then I'll let you finish it off.
Okay, cool.
First, I want to thank everybody who listened to the Round Circle podcast with me, Zaccheus, and our brother Cinema Escapes. Okay, that is a podcast that is different from Mrs. Z and Fifth, and we felt like it went successful, especially on audiomac.com. We're almost close to 1,000 hits on one episode that we had, the Jay-Z 444 episode.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that's episode 4, I think. We're at like 900 something.
Wow.
So I want to thank everybody for listening to the 10 episodes for that. And now we're back with Mrs. Z and Fifth. Just to kind of explain for people who are maybe listening to this show for the first time. The reason why Mrs. Z and Fifth and the Round Circle are recorded 10 episodes apart is because of our schedules. We can't do 2 at the same time. So we have to do it in seasons, So, this is basically the second half of Mrs. Z and Fifth.
Fifth show, yeah.
This is the second half of the season. So, of season 1. And the second half of the Round Circle will be back after episode 20 of Mrs. Z and Fifth. Okay? So we have to do it that way. At the time being, things will grow as the time goes on. Your support, we love it. We appreciate it. We're going to need some financial support in the future. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking for people to sponsor the show, and you can contact us at our social media platforms, okay?
Yeah.
Things are coming soon. We're going to have a website and everything ready soon for everything so that you can get with us. Don't fear. It's going to come.
Definitely. Thanks for listening.
Thanks. We're going to be on other platforms such as iTunes and all of that soon.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I want to say about this. Like I said, with all the compassion in my heart and and even more compassion that God can give me, or that I would want for Him to give me, and my prayers for you people down in Houston, I really do care about what's going on there. I really do, and I hate to see what happened to everybody, not just black folks, but to everybody. I speak to my people directly because of this particular situation. What I saw in Katrina was black folks had to fend for themselves. There were a lot of situations where in New Orleans, black people needed a different type of care. So that's why I speak to my people and say to you guys, if the government don't help you, we can. So this is why I got to speak to them. Okay? But speaking to everybody, God bless all of you. I hope you are safe. I hope all your families are safe. I hope you recover everything that you need. Everything that you need. I wish I could help more. I've personally have donated clothes. I don't even know if it's going to go to Houston, but I've donated clothes for people in need. Just recently, and I have more to give. I got so I just hope it goes there. I hope it goes to the right place. But I personally have tried. Maybe there are things in the future that I could do. But the thing is that I want to make sure it's with the right people. I have this thing about aligning myself with people who don't do right. I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. I like to be with people who actually going to help and get the stuff done. Mm-hmm. There was a particular thing I could have been a part of, but due to relocation and things that I've been going, I can't do it. There was a situation where I could have went down to Houston. My job, I'm not going to tell you guys who I work for, but my job could have paid for it. Mm-hmm. But, the thing is mm-hmm. I will keep you guys in mind. Mm-hmm. If anybody wants to tweet us directly about what's going on in Houston, because we want to hear from people directly, you could tweet us. So that's my closing statement. Let me just give because I said Twitter, and I'll give it again when Zaccheus is done with his final point. My Twitter is @the5thGeneral. Okay, Twitter @the5thGeneral. All right, Zaccheus, what you got to say on this issue?
Yeah, man. So our prayers go out to people in the Houston area, and we're hoping that the donations that we send out from here goes down to the right people, so it can get to you. And also, like what Fifth said earlier in the show, keep together, stick together. Don't wander off alone. Don't think that because you see or you hear police in the area that you're safe. Always stick together in a group. Always be together in a group. Men mix together. Try to get together, get your families together, and try to stick together. Don't wander and walk around alone. It's dangerous, man. I'm just still remember what happened in Katrina years ago. Hearing people got kids getting raped and everything. But you mentioned I remember hearing about that. I was like, man, So be safe, and also you can hit me up at Wayne Backus Wayne on Twitter. Wayne Backus 2 on Twitter. Also, you can hit me up on Instagram, Zaccheus B73. And also on Facebook, Wayne Backus on Facebook as well. So just hit us up there to me, let us know what's going on in Houston. And that's my closing statement. Also, you can get my book too. I have a book that's out right now.
Yeah, go get it.
A Bad Man, a Thug, and a Gangster. It's available everywhere where books are sold. It's available on Barnes & Noble. You can get it on Barnes & Noble. You could just type up barnesandnoble.com/Wayne Backus, and you get my book right there. Okay.
All right. You can reach me at the 5th General once again. At the 5th General, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay. All right. That was episode 11. Mm-hmm. All right. We out of here. We'll see y'all next time.
This is Mr. Z.
And this is 5th.
Signing off.
Take care.
Peace.